So here's another triangle. If you notice here, we have A equals 42.9, B equals this, and C equals this. We can see that we have the three sides of a triangle. Now, if we think of that first example that we had, which is here, this one we actually knew the side, and then we knew this angle, and then we knew this side. So we knew side, angle, side. So these are indicators that tell us we're going to use the law of cosines first. All right, so let's get started with our problem. So first, we're just going to draw a triangle with all the angles. So there we go. Now, the big thing to notice here, for angle A, that's going to be over here because think about this 42.9 is my little a, which tells me the angle opposite it is going to be big A. So then we kind of just do those same things for each of the angles. So make sure we get those in the right place. So B is going to be up here because 37.6 is down there. And then C is going to be over here. Now, one of the big things to try to keep in mind for these is always start with the largest angle, solving for the largest angle. So what I mean by that is this here, angle C, is actually going to be the largest angle because that's going to be opposite the largest side, which is 62.7 meters. So this is where we're going to start. So we're going to start with this formula here, the third one, because then I can actually find angle C. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to plug everything in here. So C squared is going to be 62.7 meters. Well, take the meters away. Let's just deal with the numbers themselves. So it's going to be 62.7 squared equals 42.9 squared plus 37.6 squared minus 42.9 times 37.6 times cosine of C. So now I'm just going to do some arithmetic and a little bit of algebra, and you'll see what the result is. So after squaring and adding a few things together, this is what I end up with. Now we're going to subtract here . 3254.17 from both sides. And this is what we get, which gives us this. So now what we're going to do is divide by, negative 3226.08 negative 3226.08, and we get the cosine of C equals negative 0.20988 ... Just keeps going. And then now what we have to do is take the cosine inverse of both sides. So C equals cosine inverse of negative 0.209 blah, blah, blah. And that's going to equal 102.11 blah, blah, blah. And if we round that, we can say it's 102.1 degrees. So then all I do is write that where angle C is. So there it is. Now we have to find the rest of the angles. So here's the next one. So now we're here. We can try to find angle A. So that'll be a nice one to find next. So we'll need the formulas. So there they are. So we'll need to find angle A. So we'll go here. Hang on a minute. What do we know? We know an angle and a side opposite the angle. So we don't have to use the law of cosines. We can actually use the law of sine. So this we don't need anymore. We only need it for that first angle. So it's something to kind of keep in mind as we go through using this law of cosines. So now we need the law of sines. So we're going to use the sine of 102.1 degrees over the 62.7, and that's going to equal sine of A over 42.9. Okay, so we're going to just do our math, all right? A little algebra, so cross multiply, which I hate to say, but that's what we're doing. And then now divide by 62.7, and this is what we get. We get the sine of A equals, and that's going to be 0.6690, blah, blah, blah. So that's what we get. We got a sine inverse both sides now. So I'm going to get A equals the sine inverse of 0.6690, blah, blah, blah. And that gives us, so now A equals 41.9906, blah, blah, blah. And all we're going to do is round it to that first decimal place, like the other one. And that's going to be 42.0. All right, so there it is. So now we have to get the other one. So now we have this one here. Now for the third angle, essentially all we have to do here is we don't have to use the law of sines like I did in my first video. I could just use the idea that I have 102.1 plus 42, and that's going to be 144.1. And I know altogether it has to equal 180 degrees. So I could just use that idea to figure this out. So then I do the 180 minus the 144.1, and that would give me 35.9 degrees. So right away I get that third angle for that angle B. So that's going to be that 35.9. So there we go. That's all of our angles that we need to find for this triangle. So again, keep in mind I can use other information as long as it's helpful for me here. So I could have easily just plugged that in. Since I know the sum of the three angles is 180 degrees, I could have just did this one for the third angle instead of trying to use the law of sines again. So there it is.